Yeah.
ROH.
Now, I've done this 3 times. I've screwed up 3 times. And hopefully this time, on the 4th time, I will not screw up. I'm sorry this wasn't on Saturday. Because as I've said before, I will not be doing ROH on a Friday. I will be doing it on a Saturday. If I was going to do it again, which I am now. But I wasn't feeling well. As I've said before, I have problems due to the fact my area has a lot of trees and a lot of flowers. I have 3 churches in my area where they have a whole bunch of trees and a buttload of flowers that bloomed early this year. They bloomed at the end, the beginning of March to the end of February is when they started to bloom. They started blooming at the end of February to the beginning of March. March 6th is when you really could see them budding and started opening. And February, 27th or 26th is when you can see the sprouts coming from the ground. Please. Why? And me having pollen problems makes it worse. But I'm here. Hopefully you will like this review. Give a like and subscribe. I don't normally do that, but I thought because I'm doing this for a second time, I don't know if anyone's ever going to even watch this. It may even be seen by 10 people. But give it a shot. Let me give it you like this when it came to this show. We got 10 matches here. Now, mind you, they were all decent matches for what they were to a certain extent, but about maybe 3 of them could have been eliminated due to the fact of how ROH is structured. They're not focusing enough on the development of each person. The ones that they need to develop, they have not done it yet. Now, mind you, we've only had Honor Club for a little while now, and they just started ROH. So I'm hoping they will develop them more later, and they will cut back on at least 1 or 2 of these matches. You could have 8 matches and still have a great show. But I'm worried that they will keep it at 10, and character development will not be a focus on ROH, which will hurt AEW in the long run, because that's what killed AEW. Well, not AEW, ROH. Well, see it like this. ROH went under because they were not willing to go beyond niche. You know what I mean. Because more than a few people say, you should watch ROH, it's great wrestling. Yeah, but what about the character development? They don't do that. Well, guess what happened to ROH?
They freaking went under, and it wasn't just because of the pandemic.
They went under. They were very, very, very low by the time the pandemic was going on. It's the reason why they went out of business. Well, one of the reasons. But they needed to change a little bit, and they refused to, and that's one of the reasons, or the primary reason they went under. So we still have most of what originally made ROH what it is. More wrestling heavy and very low amounts of character development. Hopefully they will change it. Now, we got the Kingdom versus Action Andretti, and it's so sad how oh man, when it comes to Top Flight, when you look at Dante breaking his ankle the way he did was horrid, and now his brother, he's got to work by himself at least until Action Andretti came into him. So seeing that this is the first match of these two working together, and did Darius do well? Yes. Was the match alright? Yes. Was the camera work good? No. I don't know what happened in this particular match, but the camera work was very close up, like this, guys. You could see it for yourself if you can able to get a repeat if they show on ROH TV, or if someone else kind of shows it. They were doing a lot of that, which is like what Impact does, which is not a good thing. But later in the show, they went away from that. But when you see Darius working with Action Andretti, they work all right together. But you wonder how far they're going to keep them together. And the Kingdom won. Nothing wrong with the Kingdom. I like the Kingdom. I always liked Matt Taman. I always did. But they never went anywhere with them in Impact Wrestling. They never went anywhere with them here. So, this is what you get. Now, second match, which I'm wondering if it'll lead anywhere. Willow Nightingale versus Robin Renegade. Now, her sister did try to help her at the end of the match to try and win, which she lost anyway. It didn't work. But you can see that when it comes to Robin, she's interesting. She has a lot of personality. I don't know about her sister, but Robin does. And then you can see the attitude of a Willow Nightingale. Look, I'm not against Willow. I like Willow. I actually do. But one major problem I have with Willow Nightingale is the fact that she has a lot of personality. Yes. She's cute. Yes. She's curvy. Yes. And she can go in the ring. Yes. But the problem is, when you look at AEW, when it comes to Dynamite or Rampage, they don't really do much with her. What did she do? She worked with Ruby Soho until Ruby turned on her, and look what's happened to her now. Nothing. So, what does this mean? Does this mean she's going to be relegated to Dark Elevation, and ROH? I'd rather see on ROH than Dark Elevation. That's where she belongs. That's where she should be. Put on ROH and leave her there. Because if you're not going to do anything with her because people do like her, she's good looking, she has personality, can she talk? Not too bad. She can talk okay. But if you're not going to do anything with her when you really need more for the women on Dynamite, what do you do? Now, mind you, this could be due to the fact that the new show that has been announced, I'm saying this right now before I continue. I've seen JD's video. I've seen JD talk about with CM Punk going to possibly be the head of the new AEW show Collision. That might be coming out in June. We still don't know what's going on with CM Punk. He's not out of the company. If you've seen JD's video with the reports that he's discovered that he's not out of the company, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega don't want to go near him, or told CM Punk's own people and handlers, don't have him near us, either because there's still court appearances or they just don't like him. We still don't know anything. But Collision may be headed by CM Punk. If a Willow Nightingale is being put in the holding pattern because they're waiting to do a Collision, that's going to be the big question. Because if she's not, put her on ROH and keep her there. No more putting her on Dynamite, Rampage, Elevation, or Dark. Just leave her on ROH because she needs more than what she's doing. She's not doing much. Yes, she showed high-level aggression when it came to Robin got her ass handed to her when she basically did a shoulder block on her and flew her a third of the way to the corner of the ring, and Robin whacked her head hard on the ring, on the mat itself. It wasn't a little hit she took. She went bang. That wasn't a joke. That had to hurt a little bit. But I'm hoping to do something with her. I'm just saying, yes, we did get the beat down by both of them onto Willow Nightingale. But the question is, will this mean anything for Willow Nightingale? I don't know. You guys send below. Now, next, we get Lance Archer versus, what's the guy's name? James C. I don't even know why I'm mentioning his name because he was annihilated. But here's the thing. What is he doing on ROH?
What the blue fuck is he doing on ROH TV when they need big guys on AEW TV?
Why is he This has always been the MO of AEW and Tony Khan. He cares more about smaller wrestlers and basically screws over the majority of the big wrestlers. Kind of reverse of Vince and Kenny McMahon, who can't stand small wrestlers and he wants to push more meaty meat men, as someone reminded me that a Bigger Langston had talked about. Meaty men, the big muscles, big men that can just whoop your ass. That is the exact opposite of Vince McMahon. He cares about the smaller wrestler. Now, this is where he's going wrong. He needs to have a decent balance of both big and small. And I don't see it. I don't see shit. And that's one of the problems we're going to have with AEW going forward. We now have him on ROH TV. One of the few big guys we got there that is legitimate, unfortunately, who's never won anything. Flat out has never won the TNT champion, the world championship, nothing. And if he had been around, and I believe he was around during the All-Atlantic title, he never would have won it. And now the basically the international championship, I doubt he will win that either. So he's just a waste. But maybe if they keep him on ROH, maybe he will win something. That's if Tony will let him. Let's move on. We now get... I'm going to jump around. I'm not going in order. I'm doing Silver and Reynolds versus Lee Johnson and Carter. I can't remember the guy's first name, but Cole Carter. I believe that's his name. It's interesting to see that Dark Order is on ROH TV. And I'm actually kind of happy about that because we've seen Stu Grayson there, I believe. I believe last week Stu Grayson was there. Now we're seeing Silver and Reynolds. We don't see them on Dynamite much. We barely seen them at all on Rampage. I'm sure they've been on Dark and Dark Elevation. Throw them on ROH TV. If Collision's not ready yet, put everyone on ROH TV instead of Dark and Dark Elevation. Because Dark and Dark Elevation is supposed to be for developmental for people who are being considered to be signed or just have short-term contracts. Do that from now on. It was an okay match. In the end, Silver and Reynolds win. I'm not surprised. They're from Dark Order. But you wonder, are they going to do anything? Now, Penta goes up against Nick Camarado with the stick and going, really? He's playing heavily into the Italian, what you want, mother, yeah. Yeah, I gotta say this as a person who's part Puerto Rican. Anybody who's part Puerto Rican with a really hot attitude acts a lot like an Italian. Not saying they're the same people. It's just they got a similar attitude. You can recognize it. And it made me think, oh, here goes like someone who's a hot-headed Puerto Rican. Anyway, it was an okay match. But I'm saying this now, this didn't need to be here. Didn't need to be. You didn't need to have Colorado here with Penta, who is a tag champ. I would have liked to see a backstage segment. I would have liked to see a video pack. We only saw one vid pack. One, generally. I mean, I think there might have been another. Was there another one? No, there was just generally one. And that was from Gringo Loco. And I'll talk about him in a minute. But that was it. And that's a major problem that they need to address. They need to do more of this. But it's going to count on how many people from the main roster is going on to ROH. It's still a big question to me personally. Who's going to keep coming back and forth from Dynamite and Rampage to ROH and also go on Dark and Dark Elevation? They're all rotating through it from what I understand. Penta won, but honestly it didn't need to be here. I'm being honest. It shouldn't have been here. Shouldn't have. Another match that didn't need to be here. The Iron Savages. I'm being honest here. They look interesting. But they didn't need this match here. To be honest, I would have liked them to be on, honestly, Dynamite. Why didn't the Iron Savages, at least if they can't be put on Dynamite, put them on to Rampage? I'd rather see them there than here. That's the truth. Yes, we already had a tag match. I'm fine with it. We didn't need a second tag match. I would have liked to see them on Rampage. Honestly, they did win. They destroyed the jobbers. I don't remember their names. They didn't even need to remember. One of them lifted two of them up at the same time and annihilated them. I don't even know what his name is. He's a big guy like this. He just destroyed them. But I'm being honest here. Put them on Rampage. We need more tag teams anyway. FTR is going to need someone to go through. I'm just saying. The match that I liked, one of the three matches I liked, there were three. Wait a minute, actually, let me do this one now. I didn't hate the match, but I want to say it now. This is not one of my favorite matches. Samoa Joe versus Colt Cabana. This is the last one of the matches that was okay. It needed to be there. It was the closing of the show. I'm fine with it. Samoa Joe going up against Colt, who just came back. And we all wondered what happened with the scrum last year, about what happened with CM Punk. He's now on ROH TV, which is fine. If he's going to be on ROH TV and CM Punk will probably be on Collision, no problem. Keep them separated, fine. I don't care. Seeing him here go against Samoa Joe is fine. The question is going to be how they're going to book him. The match was fine. It was a decent match between them. They know each other very well. They faced each other more than a few times over the years. We know this. But the question is going to be, what are they going to do with Colt? Is he going to be working out there, or is he going to be in the back? I don't know. I'm thinking he's going to be out there, but it would be interesting if he was one of the people working in the back, helping to make the show work. But who knows? Here's the first of the matches I did like. Number 3. This is Lee Moriarty versus Kateska. This was the third best match I've seen. Kateska looked beastly. And the key of this is, since Lee Moriarty is such a very good grapple wrestler, it went very well. They were able to be very fluid with each other. I loved the match. And understand, for me personally, seeing how the male Japanese wrestlers have been treated over the years in Impact Wrestling, in AEW, and in WWE. They never get anywhere. They're allowed to just wrestle their asses off, but never give them character development or proper storyline. That pisses me off. I cannot believe that these Japanese male and female wrestlers cannot pull off a storyline that is American based. You just need to figure out how to make them work with what they know in Japanese storylines. You can make it work. Japanese pro wrestlers in New Japan, All Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, and any of the others, they have storylines. They may be a little more subtle than American storylines or European or Canadian. It don't matter. It's still there. And you can't tell me they can't understand how to do it. And that's what pisses me off. Make them book women and men that are from Japan better. They do it for Spanish wrestlers. Why can't they do it for Japanese? That's bullshit. And I should say, well, you should be glad that Puerto Rican wrestlers and Mexican wrestlers and Dominican wrestlers are doing. I don't give a fuck. Book them correctly. Book everyone correctly, taking the best strengths of whatever they've been through and add it to American wrestling. If it isn't similar to American wrestling, do it. Kateska has something. I do believe that. Like Yuri Uemura, who is currently in Impact Wrestling, they need to do something with him. Like I said, along with Gunjar, he needs it the same way. They think they gotta make them a stereotype. They're idiots. Just book them correctly. We had a great match here. In the end, Kateska won. And I'm not surprised. He is in a storyline that is with Kenny Omega. And that's great. That's what I want. I want more that's going on. He's got to talk more and be given more time to develop his own personality. He can't just be a partner to Kenny. He's got to be his own person. That's what I'm hoping for. Second match. And even though I don't know what I'm going to make for the title of this ROH review, I was going to put it, the Athena Destroys. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that title, but I just really, almost forgot one match. Brian Cage versus Jet. It could have been left out. You could have done that on Rampage. It was fine to see Cage win, but, and I haven't forgotten it, but, actually I did forget it. That's why I'm putting it here. But it could have been put on Rampage. But this match, the second best match, Athena versus Heather Reckless. Understand, Athena's maybe 5'2", 5'3", and she's maybe 5 foot tall. And that's Heather Reckless. She's shorter than Athena, and she was enjoying being taller than somebody. And let me give it to you like this. Main reason, if I keep doing this, the main reason may still do this after this is not just because maybe people will actually watch this and see these reviews. I doubt anyone's going to see more than maybe 10 or 20 people going to see this, because usually they don't want to watch it after a certain time. But if they do, one of the main reasons will be Athena. Guys, Athena's gold. If you can catch the match between her and Reckless, Athena, who's not a big wrestler, She's a very good veteran wrestler. Her personality here is what is needed on Dynamite with the TBS title instead of Jade Cargill. I'm being honest here. Her personality is more aggressive and more legitimate because she's got the years as a veteran. She's got the skills as a veteran. And her attitude is just perfect for where she stands. She currently is making these proving ground matches, which I don't like. If you win against her, you get pretty much a title shot eventually. I never liked that. But due to the fact that no one has beaten her yet, means that this is now a gimmick. It's not something that's just a cliche. It's a gimmick for her. That literally she is beating everybody normally on the roster. And she said in her interview beforehand, there's one of the two interviews next to Gringo Loco, now I remember it, that she said, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Shogi. I don't care where you come from, Mexico or Japan or America or Canada. I don't give a damn. Come and challenge me. I have an open door policy to come and whoop any ass. That's what she meant. And when you see this match, it shows. Yeah, she lost a little bit, got her ass beaten up a little bit, but when the time comes to crank it up, she doesn't cheat to whoop ass. She acts incredibly aggressive. At one point, she took Heather and not only took this smaller woman, and understand, 5'2", 5'3", when it comes to a Athena, and maybe she's about 5 foot tall, maybe 5'1", she's throwing her ass into not just the guardrail, but when Heather Reckless jumps off the skirt of the ring, Athena grabs her and just throws into another grating. She annihilates this woman. Then when it's all over and she won, and she did how many power bombs? She did 5 held power bombs. 5. She's basically doing a Warlow, and she's in a smaller state than him. She did 5 power bombs, did not let go. Unlike Warlow, who generally lets go after maybe 2 or 3, she did 5 of them. And then she submitted the woman. And after that, after she had a moment, gets her title and goes, my precious. Maybe I'll use that as the title, my precious, it's mine. She takes it, puts it under her head, right near her chin, and just goes smack to Heather Reckless. That is a dominant champion that Dynamite needs. Because as much as you love Jade Cargill, look, Jade is not a bad character. Jade is not a bad wrestler. She's worked her ass hard to do what she needed to do on Rampage. That bitch has done her good job. But she is new in the company with a new title that she had to elevate with her. Not that the title was here, had 10 or 20 years of prestige, and the title helped her to elevate it. No, a brand new title that Tony created for her so she could have something, and she had to elevate it with her. And understand, she was here. She elevated it here. That's as far as she can take it. She's done 54 wins. She needs to drop that damn thing to go to the main title scene, or at least work in the main title area, main event with all the other women. She should have been part of either the OGs or part of the Outcasts. Why isn't she?
Tell me, why isn't she with either one of those groups?
What the fuck is the reason for the OGs or the Outcasts if Jade Cargill, who's a current champion, is not doing nothing with them? I'm just saying. Final match, which is the best match. El Gringo versus Valkyrio. I believe I'm mispronouncing his name. Valkyrio. This was the best match of the night. Look, I did watch Rampage. I didn't do a review of it. I actually watched it last night when it came out, the special. But I chose not to do a review of it because, honestly, even though it was a okay show, I don't think it was worth doing a review of it. So, even though Vikingo had done a match with, what's the guy's name? Relisical, I believe. I'm mispronouncing his name. For the Omega Championship, it was good. But I wasn't going to do a review of just one match because everything else just felt that. So when you look at Gringo Loco versus Vikingo, this is the match that you can easily say could have closed the show on AEW TV, on Dynamite, to be honest. And I'm not a big high-flying wrestling fan when it comes to luchadors. I'm not. But seeing that both these guys knew each other so well that at one point in the very beginnings of the match, Vikingo jumps on to Gringo Loco's shoulders, twists himself, and then turns. It's like his head was here. His legs are here. He turns, flips, and then does a Hurricanrana that way. That's something you don't normally see. That's very rare. And most of the match was like that. A lot of spots. I'm not a big spot guy. But I will say when these spots are completely different what you normally see, you have to say something. Now, I don't know if just Alex looked at ROH or JD. And the way I'm looking at it is a replay. But if any one of them could see it, they would have said that this match was an extremely great match and could have closed the show and probably should have closed the show. Because you'll make a champion compared to the ROH television champion, it should have been swapped. You could have had ROH television champion on AEW TV, and then you could have had this AEW TV match on ROH TV as the main event. Honestly, I think it should have been there. It was that damn good. In the end, Vikingo won. And I can understand why. He is the mega champion. And I didn't expect Gringo Loco to really get this opportunity to try and get to the title, the AAA Mega Championship. But I am glad that happened. And this is I think this was his debut. Yes, Gringo Loco's debut was here. Well, on the 20th, of course. And his vid pack was good next to Athena, making it clear that I've been going back and forth across the world and across this country to try and get Tony Khan to notice me. And now, not only was I brought back once, I was now brought back here. Question for me is, and this is me, will they do something with Gringo Loco? Will he be signed to ROH, or will he come back again? Or maybe he'll go to Dynamite or to Rampage. That's going to be a big question. For me personally, this is a big question for where they'll go. That's just me. Maybe that's the title. Where we'll go with these talent. Because like Athena needs to be TBS champion, not ROH champion. Gringo Loco should be on the main roster. Iron Savages should be already debuting on Dynamite or Rampage, not ROH. I truly believe they should be there, but that's just me. Peace.